Hey everybody, this is the Centaur here coming back at you again. So again, I hope you're really enjoying these reviews. What we do here on the Centaur channel is talk about fragrances. We talk about how they smell, how they come across, how they're going to affect you in your life, and how they might be an expression of your personality. So I hope you'll stick in here with me, and we're gonna have some really great fragrances this time. This is a real banger of a top 5 list. I know that's a little bit funny. Usually people do top 10s, but here I wanted to do 5, so I could make it a shorter review and I could make it to the point. So what is a fresh fragrance, or what is a designer fragrance? A fresh fragrance is usually something that's citrusy or oceanic, something that smells like the ocean, something that smells fresh. A lot of the times they can smell very clean, and there's definitely going to be those here. So these are very popular fragrances. They do very well. A lot of people love them. I guess I'll start off with some honorable mentions before I even jump to the list. Dior Sauvage is a top seller, and for good reason. It has a very clean shampoo-like smell to it. It has ambergris, which smells a little bit like a clean musk to it. It's very loud. It projects very well. It's noticeable, and it's very appealing to a lot of people. For me personally, it's not one of my favorites. I'll leave it at that. But there's quite a few really good ones. And in this list, I didn't include Dylan Blue, even though I do own it, and I think it's a great fragrance. I think Dylan Blue is an aquatic, but it's a little bit of more of a nighttime aquatic in a way. I think it deserves its own review. So stick tuned for that. Again, if you like this content, please like, subscribe, and share. I'd really appreciate it, and I hope you're really enjoying these reviews. I think they're fun, and I'm having fun with you. So without further ado, here we go. Oh, y'all know it was coming. Y'all, another aquatic list, another list of freshies. This one was coming. This is number 1, and for good reason. This is Nautica Voyage. Now, Nautica Voyage is well known in the fragrance community for probably being one of the best cheap fragrances, or best affordable fragrances you can get your hands on. If that's what you're looking for, something that's affordable, that does the job, that smells oceanic, like the ocean, a little bit salty, a little bit fresh and clean. You can get it pretty darn close to $20 if you look at the right places. Look no further. You might not even want to watch the rest of the list if that's what you're going for. But Nautica Voyage, I guess, and in my personality and opinion, I'm a little bit ashamed to say it, but this is my most complimented fragrance. And people just love it. It's simple. It's inoffensive. You're not going to scare anybody off with this. You're going to appeal to just about anybody with it. It smells very good. It smells quality for the money, which is something I really like in a fragrance. If it smells better than it costs, or smells better than it should for the money, I mean, I'm all in for that. And some people have gone as far as to say that they think this is niche, that it could be sold for $80 or $120. So that's saying something. This is quite a good fragrance, and this is Nautica Voyage. A top 5 fresh fragrance list couldn't do without a Bulgari, could it? Well, I got one. Aqua Amara is the bitter orange, strength of the ocean fragrance, like Jeremy Fragrance says. It really is. But here's its brother, and it should get a lot of attention too. And I definitely am going to get a full-size bottle quite soon. I'm almost out of this little guy. This is Aqua Marine here, but the Aqua is probably the better choice in general. But why did I choose this one? The Aqua line has salt. It has seaweed. They have a depth. They smell very natural for the money. They smell very good. If you've never smelled niche, or if you've just worn Liz Claiborne or CK1 type fragrances, nothing against them, but this is really going to be something special. And it doesn't cost much more if you look at the right places. You can get this about $30 or so, 30 to 40 at discounters for full-size bottles. It smells amazing. I have seen people's jaws drop. Their jaws just drop when they smell this because it smells so good, so much like the ocean. It's very realistic. Seaweed, salt, beach. It's very aquatic. It's very good. This is one of my favorite summer fragrances. And even though the summer is winding down, there's still time to wear it. So this is Bulgari Aqua Marine, and it just has a little bit more of the seaweed and a little bit more of the greenness. So I think it has a little bit more character, but Aqua is great just as well. So if you want a little bit of the safer route, go with Aqua. But some people do feel this is a daring fragrance. Again, go with Nautica Voyage if you wanted the simple and the easy to wear. This one has a little bit more character, but I enjoy it. And this is Bulgari Aqua Marine. Now here's a fragrance house that you might have not heard of, especially if you're not in the fragrance world too much. This is English Laundry. A little bit of a funny name, but the fragrance is called Tahitian Waters. Now, some people don't think this is a great fragrance for the money when it's at retail, but when you find it at discounters, it changes the ballpark. I've seen some people be able to get these at Ross's or places like that, TJ Maxx's, for about $15, which is unbelievable. I think this fragrance is worth the money compared to other designers if you were wanting to pay retail. I always like a deal, just like Koopa knows. He knows that getting a good fragrance lets you get more fragrances, or having a little bit more in your pocket to do, whatever else you want, something else you can kick around. So this Tahitian Waters, I guess I should show you the bottle. It has quite a nice presentation for a designer fragrance. It's got a nice kind of silver, but it's still bottle, but it's still see-through. It's quite interesting. But what does it smell like? I should probably jump straight to that when I start talking about it, right? This Tahitian water smells very similar in a designer way to Creed Virgin Island water. And I know that's might be controversial to some, but don't get me wrong, the quality of this doesn't really touch the Creed, but it still has a very similar composition, and it has a similar smell. It's a bit ozonic, it's aquatic, it has a cool beach vibe, like you're a tourist and you're drinking a very sweet kind of pina colada with a lime. It has that kind of smell. It has coconut. It smells a tiny bit of brown sugar. It's and it just smells very tropical, easygoing, and quite easy to love. Now, none of those notes are particularly bold or loud. It's blended very well, and it's kind of a subtle fragrance, but it does last quite a long time. So this fragrance as well is pretty inoffensive. And for the price, wearing something that smells this good casually, that smells quite good, I can't support it enough or suggest it enough. If you like Star Walker, or if you liked fragrances that are a little bit more on the subtle side, or where you might be in a business environment around people who might be sensitive to fragrances, this is one where you can pull off the beach vibe and get away with it. And I would recommend it at discounter prices for sure. And this is English Laundry Tahitian Waters. So let me jump to the next one for you. Y'all probably knew this one was coming as well. Anybody who has bought a fragrance recently has probably, or been around them, has smelled this one. This is Invictus by Paco Rabanne. In the fragrance world, we do love Invictus Aqua, the 2016 original formulation for a reason. It projected louder than the new Aqua, and it was a bit fresher than this Invictus. But Invictus is a great fragrance. I think it still sells well, and I still think it can deserve a place in your collection. It is a bit loud. It is a bit brash. People can smell it quite a long ways away, and that's only with 4 sprays now. If you tend to overspray, you're going to choke people out, believe it or not, with this aquatic fragrance. It smells very sweet. It smells like bubble gum off the top. For you discerning or experienced noses, this might come off a little too juvenile or a little bit too young. But this is a very playful fragrance. If you're looking for a gift for your nephew, if you're looking for an excellent party fragrance that can be worn all year long, if you're like looking to hit a club or, you know, just have a good night out, this will do very well. This is very pleasing. It does very well with ladies. I can't say enough good for this fragrance. Even though it is synthetic, it smells quite good. If I give you a short story, the first time I smelled this, I noticed it at college, at my roommate's, in his dorm, in his room. And he didn't know much about fragrances. He had gotten it as a gift. I had mentioned it and said that was Invictus, and I was getting into fragrances, so I was kind of excited. I asked to smell it, but he kind of, didn't say much, so I didn't want to press the issue. But later on, they were talking about it, and I think one of his friends, his cousin, sprayed it. And I could smell it coming underneath the door, and it smelled heavenly to me. So anybody who tells you this fragrance smells bad just has a discerning nose, they're experienced, and they're maybe not like synthetics. But to the average person, anybody on the street, this is going to be a fantastic fragrance for you. And this is a great fragrance for somebody who has a smaller collection. So I guess that's enough about Invictus. I'm sure you've heard a lot about it at one point or another. It's quite good, and I'd recommend it too. I guess let's jump to the final fragrance here. This one is no slouch either. This is quite a good fragrance. I even bought the full bottle at retail, which is quite, a rash thing to do to some. But this is Versace Porhone, or sometimes goes under the name Versace Signature. So why would I pay full retail for a fragrance? Honestly, I didn't know about discounters at the time, but I had gone to the mall looking for this kind of fragrance. I wanted something clean, but I wanted it to smell a little bit sophisticated, and this smelled quite soapy, which was absolutely lovely. And I hadn't smelled neroli in a lot of fragrances before this time, so I thought it was quite interesting, maybe even a little bit different. I think this is a fragrance that's going to stand the test of time. It smells classic, aquatic. It's hard to dislike. It is a little citrusy in the beginning too. It has a little bit of a luxury or a little bit of a classy feel to it. I think, in my opinion, this is the best business or office fragrance that you can get your hands on. It just smells upstanding. It smells like a gentleman or a businessman can or should. And I've seen people too be impressed by this smell. It smells like you're put together if you wear this kind of fragrance. So I wouldn't recommend this be worn casually. I think it should you should be dressed or look the part to match the fragrance. So wear a little bit of a nicer outfit, or even a suit in a more casual situation, and just an everyday work situation. This will do you just right. And this is Versace Porhone. Now I appreciate you watching this video and sticking through it with me. I guess I should give some more honorable mentions. Of course, there's Acqua di Gio. You might have been thinking that would come on the list. I have Acqua di Gio Essenza in my collection, which I believe it does have a little bit more character, and does project and last a little bit longer. And I wanted to do a review for it on its own. That could easily go into this list. Again, Dior Sauvage could easily fit into the list, but it doesn't suit my personal taste. I think it could be blended better, and I think it's a little bit too loud. There's quite a few other ones, Dior clones, Prada Luna Rosa Carbon, is one that comes to mind, which is good as well. There's Bulgari Aqua Atlantique, which is another clone or spin-off of Sauvage. And Sauvage itself, I guess people will talk about, is kind of there's quite a few good aquatic fragrances out there. They're always popping up on the market, but these are pretty timeless. They do very well for the project and do very well for the money. You can find they're really good, a really good value. So if you were wondering what are some good fresh fragrances to get that are kind of timeless or really been proven, these are proven. These are winners. You pick one that suits your personal needs or your personal taste the best, or just pick maybe all of them if that's what you want. And there's a reason why a lot of us fragrance lovers, or even people who have smaller collections, get into the game, because aquatics really speak to us. They're really easy to love. So aquatics are, I don't think, anything to put down on or scoff at. So I hope you've enjoyed this review with me. Hope you've liked it. If you have, please like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit the bell. That's quite a list, but if you hit the bell, you'll get notifications when I upload videos, and I'm going to try to do one every single day for you guys. I'll see how successful I can be and how much y'all enjoy the videos. So I enjoy them with you, and honestly, I don't know, with these aquatic fragrances and with Aqua di Gio Essenza, I don't know if I'll need another aquatic fragrance for some time. But we'll see, maybe in the future, if one that's particularly good comes up. So we'll look forward to that. Let me know if you find a very good particular, fresh fragrance. Let me know what your favorite fresh fragrance is, or aquatic fragrance is. There's quite a few out there. And if you would like to, you can even talk about how you first got into fragrances. I would love to hear your story. So this has been the top 5 aquatic fragrances from the Dior channel, where we're half fragrance, half people, and we're all about the passion. So I hope you enjoyed this again, and have a great day tomorrow. I know it's going to be fantastic. So we'll see you then. Bye.